We've been looking at where YouTube seems to be heading in 2026, and it could get pretty interesting.
2025 became kind of the year of AI everything. And I think at this point, it's really whittled down people's patience going into 2026.
YouTube is changing. Really, Dan? Changing fast and growing fast. So what's next?
So let's break down how we think YouTube is going to look in 2026.
Think of this like forecast, possibilities, and a few things creators might want to prepare for this upcoming year. Some of these are already bubbling up a little bit, and others might surprise you. So, Dan, why don't you kick us off?
Do y'all remember a few years back when YouTube was taking big bags of money and handing them to Twitch streamers and saying, why don't you do that, but on our platform forever?
I do. How successful was that?
I don't think it was very successful because they stopped. They said, hey, we're not doing that again. And some of their biggest streamers like Ludwig and people like that, their contracts just expired and the streaming wars kind of ended like a fart in the wind. They're just gone. You know, this was a time where Microsoft also had its own streaming platform and they were trying to get exclusivity deals.
Excuse me, did you say Microsoft was trying to do social media stuff? Oh, pardon me. Blimey.
You okay there, Rob?
Oh, goodness. It's like, anyone remember Skype? Oh, jeez.
That was like the only successful one they had.
It actually was. Right. Skype was brilliant. Yeah, I apologize
about
for that.
Skype.
Yeah. I've still got some credit on Skype. Can I phone anyone? Right? Hey, call me, maybe.
These services kind of learned that, okay, taking content creators and locking them into exclusivity deals is not only very expensive, but it's not moving the needle for us. I'm going to make the somewhat bold prediction and say that this is about to happen again with podcasts. Netflix and iHeartMedia are in talks over video podcast licensing agreement. Very similar to me of that time frame of streamers getting exclusivity deals, but except this time podcasts already are way more established with big companies overseeing the production of a lot of different shows. Imagine your favorite podcast suddenly not being on YouTube anymore because they have an exclusivity deal with none other than Netflix. What does this look like in a world where Netflix actually gets this contract and a whole bunch of podcasts no longer can upload to YouTube? I don't know any other way it could go other than another exclusivity war that YouTube feels forced to participate in.
So what do you think this means for creators podcasting right now?
If you're a big enough podcast, it's only a win, right? Like someone could offer you a bag of money to come to their platform. And maybe for that year or two, you go to whatever platform and you post your podcast exclusively on it. This worked really well for the streamers. The people who lost out were the viewers. And I think we're going to see that again, because if you think about it, YouTube has a $0 entrance fee, whereas Netflix has no free option. Their cheapest option still includes ads, and it's still like, what, $7 or $8 a month? I think the viewers lose, podcasters will win, and I think it's all temporary because I think people will be mad that their viewership is so much lower than it used to be when they could just publish anywhere. I'll tell you what, I don't like exclusivity deals with content in general. Did you know that Friends is leaving Netflix in 2025?
Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Swiftly move on to Jen's first prediction.
My first prediction is that this is, I think, going to be like the live stream era. I think we are going to see creators outside of gaming. And I feel like right now we typically associate streaming with gaming. And there's tons of other people who live stream, but for the most part, let's just say it's predominantly gamers. I think this is going to be the year that we see other people really start to dabble with what it means for live streaming in maybe lifestyle spaces, doing live classes. We have that educational portion of YouTube now. Even if we're doing live cooking shows, I just see an opportunity for a lot of different spaces to start experimenting with lives.
This sounds like a bit of an interesting counterpoint to what Dan was saying, in that the live stream wars are over, but there is this new opportunity for new niches and topics to find a presence on YouTube. Like, Jen, if you were to give me like an ideal live stream that you might tune into as a viewer, what would it potentially be?
A live fitness class. Like we have Peloton who does like live fitness classes on the app. Also, you can watch them pre-recorded. Like there's so many fitness creators. Are we doing live gym sessions? Is like Sam Solik's actually just like streaming their workouts for people to do alongside them?
So you actually get them into a habit of doing it at a certain time of the day.
Yeah, our favorite food creators, are we making dinner with them instead of trying to like recreate it after? That way we have like the live chat going. You can answer questions at the same time. I don't know. I just see like a world where lives have a bigger impact.
As somebody who's been streaming games for a really long time, it's difficult to just enjoy playing a game when you know you could be live right now. I can imagine like a cooking channel getting into this habit and then going, well, I make dinner every day, so why not stream every day? Not realizing all the work that goes into that. And then they're cooking and you're like, oh,
I have to survive every day, so why don't I live stream it?
Why don't I stream it?
When I think about it like that, it's pretty dystopian. But I do like the idea of the habit that, like, if everyone's doing a thing together, like I work out every day, oh, this channel streams and I can like follow their workouts. That kind of like creates accountability in yourself to like show up, not just for yourself, but now this stream, you're part of like this community. Everyone's doing this together. Yeah, I can see where your head's at for sure.
I just feel like community is the thing that's really coming back for this year. Maybe that's like the overall theme. We're just looking for something a little more real.
I will say, live streaming wise, I'm a little disappointed in the way YouTube is tackling vertical lives. They're still, for me, pretty hard to find. I don't find them to be intuitive to locate. I know how to find them, but if I'm just on the app browsing, I don't accidentally stumble upon them like I would other types of content.
I just imagine like TikTok's live shelf moving over to YouTube. I think with the introduction of the vertical lives, like that's what opens the door to so many creators who would never stream horizontally.
And I think that's a good segue then into my first prediction, in that 2026 might finally be the year when the whole culture around ad revenue becomes less of the greatest goal and the greatest desire of a creator. It's almost like weaning them off this drug that over the long term isn't necessarily good for them, because if they're just relying on passive income that YouTube wholly controls and it's very seasonal and like one mistake just can kill the channel, it's having creators who are a little more business savvy. And if there is an opportunity, certainly in the vertical format live streams, especially I know on TikTok, all of these GIFs and gems and whatever, and YouTube are certainly introducing that more and more. And in terms of having more integrated brand deals and sponsorships, this new tool that's coming soon in 2026, I think they're calling it swappable ad segments. How I understand this is that you record your video, but then you'll also record a separate video, which is maybe like a brand segment or a sponsorship, and you insert that into the video as your ad, and that can last for however long you want, and then you can swap it out for something else. How I initially thought it would be is that YouTube would be selling these segments to you, like you'd only be able to pick what they offer you, but it sounds like you can put in anything you want, which is brilliant. That allows you to have so much control over who you're working with and who your sponsorships are, and then have a window of opportunity different times of the year. But then it also does make me wonder, like, what if you wanted to, dare I say it, manipulate your own video by just adding in a new segment of the video that's not actually a sponsorship. It's just an addition, like it's an addition to the content. I'm wondering how YouTube's going to maybe negotiate that, because we all understand YouTube to be a place where once the video is uploaded, you can never add anything to it. You can remove content, but you can never add anything. And now this tool maybe gives like a backdoor way into doing that.
I think it would just be a feature where you can swap a chunk of a video out. And I can see how this would be very valuable for brands. This could cut both ways, though, because premium users, are they going to have a really easy section? Because right now we already have jump ahead. If you're on premium and someone does an ad segment, usually enough viewers have skipped to where it detects, okay, this is the ad. This will just tell that, like, okay, now the jump ahead works really reliably because this is the ad segment. So this could cut in a couple different ways. It's really, really interesting.
I think creators are going to have a lot more control over this than I originally thought. That seems really powerful and really exciting.
One thing that just popped in my head was Charlie, Voice Critical. He showed us this year all of his analytics that point to like the different types of revenues he makes.
It was about $30 million, wasn't it? Plus.
Yeah. He's made an obscene amount of money as a creator. And this is his entire time on the platform, all right? So this is not like what he made in 1 year. His revenue is primarily ads, and he no longer wanted to do memberships, Twitch subs, things like that. So he was basically making a video saying like, I'm shutting all this down. Like no more memberships, no more super chats. Like, don't give me money. Stop it. And then he basically showed his numbers to show people I'm fine. Stop.
Is it important to stress over this is the direct from YouTube revenue that we don't know how much money he's made like from brand deals and sponsorships off of YouTube, but I guess we're gonna know that a bit more when these new tools come in.
Yeah, it was just all of his YouTube revenue. I think probably, I didn't look at his tabs very closely, but probably including through super chats and stuff like that. He claimed that AdSense was his way of making money on YouTube. And in the meantime, YouTube is adding features like you mentioned, gems, things like that, for people to have more opportunities to monetize. And I don't know, in a way that kind of does balance things out, right? The biggest creators, of course, they're going to get a lot of ad revenue, an obscene amount, apparently. Smaller, mid-sized creators, they have a lot of different tools to pull from, and they could maybe put a heavier focus on memberships than he did, and they could make a lot more money, maybe even potentially than him, if they do a really good job with their membership program, for example, or Patreon, or whatever it is. So I don't know, it's just kind of interesting to think about all the ways YouTube is adding like more ways to make money, but at the same time, AdSense hasn't like dipped necessarily in terms of like how much money you can get. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably only gone up. It's certainly gone up for shorts since their inception.
Yeah, it's kind of I think doubled or trebled. In saying that, it was like 5 cents RPM and it's now maybe hovering around 15 cents. 30 to 100 times less than long form revenue. When we think about YouTube's partner program, which I think launched in, what was it, 2010, something along those lines. It took a decade to 15 years to kind of mature. Shorts were launched in 2020. I think the monetization program was switched on in 2022, 23. So within 2 years, it's matured to the point where people can go full time just from recording 10-second skits and such. That's incredible about how reliable and sustainable the YouTube platform continues to be in this creator economy.
Now that we've made predictions for what's coming up in 2026, let's talk about what creators can actually do and any advice that we have for the upcoming year. Dan? My
first bit of advice related to what I was saying earlier about podcasts. I think that if you go into making content with that TV viewer base in mind, knowing that, you know, podcasters are certainly getting a lot of plays right now, TV viewership is up, and you put that extra polish on your content for that audience. Like, think about who you are as a viewer when you watch a television program, right? You're somebody who expects quality in that moment. You're giving someone like 30 minutes of your time, and you expect to be told a story, and you expect to be entertained. And if people are watching YouTube like that, I don't think those expectations necessarily go away. I think they're going to be scrolling a lot until they find something that they deem as, oh, this must be quality content, and they sit down and watch it for a while. It could be a podcast. It could be just like a really, really well done Let's Play. That would be one piece of advice, is to remember the TV viewership going into next year. The last thing I wanted to say, because we didn't talk really much about AI today, I think that because every year the barrier to entry when it comes to making content gets lower and lower, I think it's on the floor now when it comes to AI and just generating videos. That also means that the quality of those videos is going to be lower. When that many people are making that much stuff and not really putting a lot of thought into it, there kind of becomes a need, I think, for viewers to see something of a high quality. So even if you're making AI content, we saw this recently. We were doing a live stream and someone was obviously using AI, but putting more polish on it. And I think that goes back to what I was saying with polish. Just polish your stuff more.
All right, Dan, thanks for that. Jen, what do you think is going to be important in 2026 for creators on YouTube?
My advice is simple. I think this is a year of creativity. I think this is going to be a year where you should try to take the risks and make ideas that you've been sitting on and stop trying to do what everybody else is doing. I think we really need fresh perspectives and creativity back on the platform because it has just been so accessible to be on YouTube and there's so many things that can help you make content. So my advice would be like, go wild. Just throw ideas out there and just lean into the creativity part, not the monetization part as a creator.
I think those new things you can try can come from something outside the platform. And this will look different for a lot of people, but I think some of the best ideas are when people ask a general question and then investigate the answer to that question. And they might find something interesting. They might not, but they might learn some cool stuff and they get to do a breakdown, a speculation kind of video. And we did this recently. We had the question, you know, when will Mr. Beast not be the top YouTuber anymore? Because that spot has been taken by different creators over time, and now he's holding on to it, and it doesn't look like that's ever going to change. That caused us to ask more questions and do more research and make a whole video breaking down our thoughts on that, looking at the history. We can't predict the future, but we can look at the past. And that becomes this video essay that's like fun to make in the moment and feels different. It feels like a new topic for a channel like ours that gives advice about YouTube and things like that. That's still a relevant topic and question for our audience. And it was interesting for us to explore as a team. We saw a channel recently during that live stream where somebody was looking at different things around their street outside. And they're like, what is that? And they researched it and did like small video essays on like, okay, well, this is what that thing is. You've seen this before. I've seen it. I've been wondering for a while. That video is not going to be made by 100 people. Let's like, you're going to do that research, and anyone else making that video probably used you as the source for that information for their video, and you get to lead the charge. Yeah. So I think that's where it really comes from is conditioning yourself not to do all of your topic research and ideation in one place. Go on different group community forums and things like that. Go out into the world and experience things and ask questions and write those questions down, because one of them could be your next viral video.
Like what you're saying, Dan, like go on other platforms, but I'm also going to say like get off the platform for a little bit. Like as a creator, being surrounded by your niche is super powerful. You learn a lot when it comes to research, but it's also a little like brainwashy.
Jen, did you just get off the platform? Disconnect from YouTube?
Corner, we take the ride.
Jen's locked in. Please continue.
From 8-bit land to the galaxy's far, Rob's gaming corner is the brightest star.
Segues perfectly into my advice for 2026, which is give AI a chance. Like, I would not have said this last year, but I've come to the realization, all of the platforms have, is that the AI is not going anywhere. So we need to embrace it and make it accessible to content creators. And so I think if you're moving into 2026 with the same attitude of, I hate AI, there is no chance I'm ever going to use it on any of my content because it is an affront to my creativity, you are disconnecting yourself from what is the world of content creation today. And I think guarantee that if you spend 6 months just exposing yourself to the conversation around AI and seeing what tools there are, you will find at least one AI tool that helps you in your workflow in some way. Now, for me, it has been refining scripts. I've now kind of allowed tools such as vidIQ Scriptwriter and ChatGPT to take themes and ideas and bullet points and then write them in my voice, my style, after creating prompts and, working with it. And I'm now at a point where it is creating scripts that are never like 100% perfect, but I can put it down in a Google Doc, and then as I'm working through it, I can say, yeah, I like that bit, but I'm just going to reword it a little bit to really fit my voice. But it saves me hours and hours of time with script writing. Now, for you, it might be visual effects that you need to add to the B-roll. It might be tools that just help you rewrite a title in a very impactful way, or it creates a thumbnail that gives you a concept for how you're going to design it for exactly how you want it to look on YouTube. I believe now you just can't go forward creatively with just that binary attitude of, I'm not going to use AI. I just can't use it.
I do agree with this. I think that we have so many useful tools. I like what you're saying, even just starting somewhere very, very basic with script writing or script editing. Like someone hearing like AI is writing your script, that might be super intimidating. But another thing you can do is put your script that you wrote, run it through AI, describe who your target audience is, and see if you missed anything huge or if this actually hits the mark for who your target audience is for your viewer. There's areas for it to be helpful, but I do know people can come from a place of this feeling very intimidating. And little bits. You can start with little bits and see how you feel. Like nobody's making you use AI.
Microsoft is kind of with Windows right now.
Damn it, Microsoft. Just discredited everything I said.
Obviously, I have a different take. Y'all know me. But I don't want to just...
Really?
I don't want to discredit anything you're saying. Like, because for some people, that's like exactly what they should hear right now. But for others, I'm the kind of person who sees all the ways people are using AI, and I kind of take that as a challenge. Or if I'm like, well, if I don't like this, and I don't, then what can I do to stand out, against it? Well, for me, it kind of means learning new skills. Maybe like there was a time where I was learning how to animate graphics and things like that, motion graphics. And eventually I kind of stopped doing that. Like at vidIQ, we got some editors who are fantastic, do it way better than I could ever do it. And I let that skill just kind of like die, and I'm seeing what's happening now and going like, maybe I should pick up some of those tools again and learn them. When I hear the advice of like embrace AI, I think, well, embrace nuance would be my like way of agreeing with you. But for everything, not AI, not just whatever, like try to understand where other people are coming from and see it from their perspective this year. That is like the way I kind of take that advice.
So everybody out there, what I want you to do is the first time you see Dan using AI in one of his videos in 2026, call him out hard. Expose him over all of YouTube. Because I guarantee it's going to happen.
No. So those are our predictions.
The platform is changing. Creators are changing.
2026, as always, as this creative industry continues to grow, will be the biggest on record. Let us know what your predictions are in the comments. And you never know, we might just revisit this video in a year's time and see if you were right.